Hi guys, it's me Brandy with Be Vintage Design and Decor, and I am doing a craft DIY today from some candles that I actually thrifted. This is what the candle looks like. I have two of them. One of them I already did paint up. This is the second one. And when I bought these about a year ago, I thought they kind of looked like a snowman and didn't do anything with them last Christmas. This year I decided I'm going to do something with them and turn them into snowman candle holders. So what I did was I took some chalk paint and I mixed it with some baking powder. First I tried baking soda because I heard another YouTuber use baking soda and it didn't give me the consistency that I liked. So I mixed it with the baking powder and it gave me that great kind of runny stucco type of paint. And I just started off by painting the candle holder in this paint mixture, and I was just doing it as a straight paint job. Nothing too extraordinary yet. And as you can see on the base of this, these are actually handmade candlesticks, and I think they're probably from the 80s or 90s, by just judging by the style and the way it was stained. They were in great condition. They just needed a little extra. So here I am actually stippling on or kind of pouncing on the paint as a second coat after the first coat dried and giving it this kind of snow appearance. And this actually went so much simpler than I thought. Just mixing that baking powder with the paint really creates that texture anyways. And I just went over it lightly with the second coat just to kind of make sure everything was covered. And then I went over the second one with a really light third coat of it just to kind of give it a little extra texture. As you can see, there's still already a lot of texture there, but once it's dry, you can kind of go back over it and mound on top of it a little bit more just to give it a little bit more texture. And I just love the way that this product came out. You could probably use any kind of chalk paint. I was using Dixie Belle chalk paint, and the color that I used is actually Buttercream by Dixie Belle, and the hat is Caviar by Dixie Belle, which is just a basic black. And so that's the third coat on that one, and then I'm coming back in and doing the hat in the Caviar, and I dropped it. So I do have a little repair to do on it. And that's just showing you, I did paint the inside of the candlestick as well. It had like a little brass piece on the inside. Instead of removing it, it was kind of really, really stuck in there, so I just left it. Here I'm just repairing the little ding that I did when it dropped. And the fork wasn't the best thing, but I had already washed the brush. So I kept the mixture in between coats in the refrigerator, and it did just fine. It didn't harden up at all. I was able to use it on all three coats. And if you notice, like here, if you notice that you have a missed spot after you've already washed your brush or after you've done a couple coats, really you could go back in with your finger like I am and it comes out with a nice texture. And now that they're all dry, I'm just embellishing them. I was going to do faces on them, but then I thought I didn't really want them to look too cartoony. So I'm just taking a little hot glue to some buttons. I have a whole jar of these vintage black buttons that I picked up at a thrift store a while back, and I just used them on various crafting projects. So I just took a little hot glue and I used similar size buttons on each one, and I kept them next to each other so that I could make sure that they were lined up perfectly, or as perfectly imperfect as I could get them. And I put 3 buttons on each snowman. And then after I've gotten them all lined up, I do go around and pick off any excess glue that I have left around the buttons. And I wanted to give him some type of embellishment either around his neck or on his hat. And I thought if I did it around his hat, that might become some type of fire hazard with the candle. So I took some ribbon that I had purchased at Target this year. It almost reminds me of like a grain sack striping, and I just made a simple bow tie with to make it look like a scarf. And yeah, I love the way it turned out. They're super simple. If somebody wanted to purchase them and put faces on them, they could. I did wax the top of the black. Well, you can see one of them is still wet, with some Easy Peasy wax from Dixie Belle. But I love it. If you like the way this came out, let me know, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.